Wildlife Wobble. That is the creation of today. Hey guys, watch this. Wildlife Wobble can float. And it helps cool the pieces off. Anyways, the main purpose of this video is to show you this Wildlife Wobble creation and kind of the process of what I did to actually create it. Wow, a flower went in it. So yeah, the main differences between this Wildlife Wobble and the other one I created is that this one has all the Wildlife Wobble pieces for southern Idaho, and the main wobble piece has been restructured so that it actually goes with the theme of southern Idaho. As you can see, it goes with the prime bridge, and then there's Idaho on it. And also, there's a notch. This notch is actually really beneficial when you're actually playing the game because it allows you to try and balance it without having to worry as much about them sliding, because being 3D printed, it's very slippery and definitely harder to actually get working all the time. With that said, let's actually try and balance all the pieces. So here in the balancing, you can actually see that I was quite struggling to get them to balance. I tried first on this one rock where it kind of actually propped up so it wasn't really going to tip over. While this was good, it kind of didn't work for me because I was kind of situated in a weird position, not allowing me to balance them ideally. Okay, so there's Wildlife Wobble, Southern Idaho edition. There's Copper. And here's what they were all falling into. Yeah, even with a really nice rock, the little bit of wind is enough to knock it over sometimes. And I occasionally keep putting them in wrong. But it's getting hot. I need to dunk them in water so they don't melt, because they are PLA after all. So then I moved to this other area, and this other area worked better because it actually it was also a rock and prevented it from wobbling a ton. It still wobbled a little bit, but I was able to assemble it or get all the pieces on top much quicker and actually get the photo I wanted. We got it. We set up Wildlife Wobble. Let's go. Okay, so I just set up Wildlife Wobble down right over there. Just put it away now though. That's finally got it. Took a little hot sec. Speaking of the photo, I actually did another one on another rock earlier when I first got it, and that rock was just as difficult, and actually some of the pieces fell down. Not super surprising when you think about it, but just kind of funny. Ultimately, I do not necessarily recommend balancing or playing Wildlife Wobble outside, as one, the heat can get to it, two, the pieces can get lost, and that's really mainly the things. So ultimately, doing it inside is more beneficial. And if you have it on a ground, maybe have it so on a surface that is a little less slippery, unlike a glass table, then that would probably be better. As my original Wildlife Wobble, oh man, it took so long to balance it and get the photo I wanted, but ultimately I did get it. Wildlife Wobble as a whole has definitely been one of my favorite creations, as it's a challenge for the printer a little bit because of the multicolored, particularly this renovation, and it actually puts to use the 3D printers so that I can print them off to other people who order them. So now where can you actually get this game? Well, that's actually a good question because it's going to be at the local Idaho Visitor Center, but it may or may not ever become on Etsy or online, mainly for the fact that I'm not actually positive how long I'll be doing this because I'll be going off to a university pretty soon. As a result, this is actually one of those videos that I'm making before I kind of tell you what's up with going forward and kind of narrowing out my plans a little bit more. As you may have noticed that I haven't been posting quite as much. Wildlife Wobble! Here's the Idaho, bull, trout, crawdad, coyote, falcon, rabbit, quail, rockchuck, sagebrush, porcupine, skunk, duck, goose, lizard, deer, whirl, diamondback, rattlesnake, blue heron, sturgeon, owl. By the way, there will be a bag for them. I'm trying to find some better burlap bags as the current ones are not ideal. Okay, intermission. So it just so happened that the bags arrived the day after I recorded. So these are kind of what they look like. I actually really like these ones. They're black. Here's the first dozen to go to the visitor center. Uh-oh, not that way, not that way, not that way, not that way. That way. Somehow didn't manage to lose any of them after that. The cliffs, the cliffs, the cliff. Okay, let's go. Out of over there. I don't think copper likes heights.